Okay, you've seen the scene now, and as you can see, it's a pretty good example of independent guerrilla-style filmmaking, in that they didn't have access to a proper sound guy on set that day. The result of which was the sound equipment they had access to, which was 2 lav mics and an onboard camera mic, was improperly used, in that the 2 channels used to record with were just 2 lav mics. And as you can pretty much hear, doing that in a fight scene is pretty much a humongous no-no. Every movement from the character's clothing and impact and body slams is picked up predominantly on the microphones, completely overwhelming and over-brawling the dialogue that you need for the scene. It sounds very, very, very amateur and completely ruins the scene. It makes it completely unwatchable. Also, it was missing some basic editing there, and some Foley for like the impacts and so on and so forth, but predominantly it was the scuffling of the microphone sounds that you could hear, which completely ruined it. Now, this is an excellent exercise in cleaning of audio, which you'll find a lot on independent film. So the techniques that I used to overcome these problems were quite varied. You had EQ and frequency specific phase reversing, also some spectral repair, in that I was highlighting certain amplitude and frequency areas, deleting the audio, and then using specific techniques to rebuild sound in that frequency region. Now, a lot of this had to be done while also keeping intact the dialogue from the actors, because we couldn't get them in for ADR again, especially the lead. That was going to cause months and months and months of problems and delay the film, and it had to be done pretty quickly. So pretty much all the sound that you heard there had to be reclaimed and re-engineered. To do this, it involved me listening through to every sound file that was presented to me within the actual project, figuring out the best ones to use, and then also listening to every click, pop, scratch, shuffle, and then using these different techniques like EQing and phase reversing to remove them. It was a pretty long, laborious job. If the sound had been recorded well, I could have pretty much edited that in a day, less than that even. But the reality of that was that I had to basically go through every one of those clicks, pops, and shuffles, and it took me about just over a week full-time work to remove all of that and reclaim the audio and make it usable. To bolster this, I also did some pretty fun and enjoyable Foley recording and editing for this, to beef up the fight sound and kind of bring it to life and give it some impact, add the certain sounds needed to kind of identify like the injury of different bodies and stuff. And if you noticed the last half of the scene, it gets a bit crazy with editing and stuff, and that kind of gave me that, and the director gave me an interesting opportunity to kind of fill that area up and kind of make sense of that strange editing and cutting style that was used. To do this, I did some unusual sounds and brought in kind of a focus on that character. And then after that, I added some kind of specific reverse reverb and mixing effects to animate the different cutting in and out to black, and also filling out those areas where there was no sound available. Kind of brought that to life again with more Foley and some specific mixing techniques. So yeah, this was another scene that really does show the worth of a good sound guy, good sound editor, good Foley artist, good sound designer, because you can see the scene becomes a lot more watchable, and it also becomes very digestible, and it comes to life, you know. So yeah, let's rewatch it, and you can analyze all the different aspects and stuff that I added. Enjoy.
Fuck, man. What do you think? Oh, fuck. Damn. Fuck. I'm gonna bleed you for every penny you got, motherfucker. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing, man? All right, just take it easy, all right? Whatever it is that you want, just tell me, all right? And we'll take care of that.
Your kind will suffer for the pain you've caused.
My kind? I'm just a businessman, all right? Just take it easy, stay calm, and just take whatever you want. It's all
Shut
right.
the fuck up!
I knew you'd come. I knew you'd never stop. You made us into killers. Made us in your own image. Didn't you ever ask yourself why? It's time for you to become the hunted.
Okay, so that was the scene, edited with lots of sound repair going on there. You can see the amount of times and the amount of different scenes that I had to kind of fix with that, and the difference that the actual the kind of feel the scene had with all the additional Foley you put in with the strike sounds, the thumpings, the rumblings of guys falling over, people being punched in the face, all those little touches kind of bringing it together, and also the kind of room tone and tying the different edit points from the camera changes backwards and forwards and stuff. And yeah, the interesting effect that sound can have on a scene, as you can see in the last half of the scene with the weird crazy delaying comb filtering effects and the heartbeat and the ADR with the breathing sounds, and also that kind of low frequency rumble that I added as well kind of gave significance to what was going on screen with the some of the special editing effects that was used as well, kind of put it in context and made it make sense in a way, kind of heightened the feel of the character in the scene. And, you know, it gave the whole thing a dynamic and a feel. Overall, it's a massive improvement, and yeah, another great example of why a good sound guy, both on set preferably, and then also definitely in post-production, is needed for your films here, because it really does add that extra layer and give it that overall professional sheen to a piece. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and hope you found it educational. At least you can kind of see what goes on regarding sound for small independent films and for media. And yeah, much homage must be paid to Alistair Ferron from Ferron Films, letting me use his little piece there, The Hunter. If you want to pop over to his website, www.ferronfilms.com. There's also my website, which is www.simonnorman.com. It's lots of examples of my work there, and also feeds quite nicely into my music site, which you'll be able to navigate around once you're there. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, and see you soon, guys.